Welcome to UPMC Nowlan Park for the fourth live stream of this weekend on the Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge Cup Finals. This one is Kilkenny on home turf here, and you see them there down below us here from our vantage point up in the Crow's Nest. Beautiful day here in early June for this game, perfect for hurling, and it's Kilkenny up against Tipperary Blue, and we have a totally neutral and unbiased co-commentator in Eddie Doyle, who will put aside all his Kilkenny allegiances to commentate on this game in a completely neutral way. Eddie, is that right?
Yeah, I'll try my best. I can't promise anything, but I will try.
Well, your education and knowledge will certainly come to their fruition, because we'll get to know these Kilkenny boys. I'm looking forward to finding out about that, but we're actually going to look at the Tipperary Blue team first of all. Let's look at their lineup. Their captain is their number 6, Shea Gleeson from Moneygall, and I saw during the week the Twitter feed had a picture of him with the Tipperary Costian and Nogue chairperson PJ Bowden. They presented them with tops. Sponsored by the board, which is good to see that kind of support. But looking at that team there, I'm sure you know quite a few of these lads as well.
I only know a few of them. Again, look at it's traditionally I suppose we kind of concentrate on the 18 players, and that's not to be disrespectful to anybody that's on this. So there, when you're outside the county, that's traditionally what you'd see. But the likes of again, Shea Gleeson, you mentioned him, a big player, massive at centre back. He's captain as well. He's very good, very physical as well. Could get around the field. That's very good. Likes of Damien Fogarty and Conor Hannon, or Cottle Hannon at full back as well. All these lads, all really good as well. But again, you're looking at this team, you're looking at the clubs as well that they have. So the likes of JK Brackens and all these boys, CJ Kickham's, Mullinahone, only over the border as well for Kilkenny, Borris O'Kane, Holy Cross, all represented all around the Tip County as well. So look at loads of tradition, loads of quality in this Tip team.
Yeah, 3 from JK Bracken, Sean Welsh at number 7, Cian Broderick 13, Jack Marnell 14. But I always like to hear of a new club. You think you've heard them all, and then you hear a name like Temple Derry Kenyans. Michael Collins at number 8 is from that club. Can you educate me?
I can't educate you on that at all, no. Temple Derry, all right, but that's new to me as well, Temple Derry Kenyans.
Well, maybe someone on the live chat will let us know. I'm sure they will. Yeah. So we'll open that up to people on the live chat there. So feel free to leave a message on that, and we'll follow it. So throughout the game, we'll keep an eye on that. But please tell us about that. Let's go and have a look at more familiar territory for you, and that is the Kilkenny team, which is captained by their midfielder Kieran Hickey from Dunnamaggin. So go for it.
Go for it, yeah. But again, look at loads of knowledge on these players as well. So in goal, Conor Farrell from Carrickshock. One aspect of his game today now as well will be his massive puck out, big puck out as well. Conor would have played a lot of his hurling out the field, and again was put back into the goal earlier this year as well. Has those hands as well. Big family tradition involved in the GAA then as well. Son of Paddy Farrell, of course, won an under-20 with Kilkenny. Dara Bean in the full back line. So, here's an interesting one for you now, Jerome.
Yeah.
Dara Bean's younger brother is actually on the Kilkenny minor panel, the A panel as well. So look at Pierce Costello.
When you say younger brother, they're both, 16, 17?
Well, Dara, I presume, was 17 then, and his brother, I think his Dean, is 16. He's on that panel as well.
Irish twins, maybe.
Irish twins, maybe twins. Yeah.
But I mean, you can imagine that situation. The two lads go for the trials, and one makes it, and one's very close. But this is his opportunity now. Exactly
as well. And look at, if you're talking to the likes of the people involved in this as well, who would see these players more often than I do, they're talking about Dara Bean as one of those players as possibly just off the A panel, the tier as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on today against Tipperary. Again, Pierce Costello from Dunnamaggin. Again, Dunnamaggin, loads of tradition, and likes Noel Hickey there from the great Dunnamaggin club. Jeff Turrell across the road from the Old Auckland Gales club. And again, we've Luke Lawler, Thomas Langton and James Talon, really lively half back line then. Into Kieran Hickey, the captain from Dunnamaggin. We mentioned Dunnamaggin already, but Kieran again, the nephew of Noel Hickey as well. Kieran Timmins, his partner from Young Ireland's again. We can talk about great hurlers from there, Charlie Carter, Pat O'Neill, DJ Carey as well. So really looking forward to seeing the likes of James Reid, James, younger brother of Billy, who's on the under-20 panel, how he gets on. Jack Hogan has been doing really well this year, getting loads of scores. So interesting to see. We had the first game here between Dublin and East Cork as well. Loads of space in that game, loads of subs introduced. I'd imagine there'll be loads of subs introduced in this game. What I imagine, and I'd hope there mightn't be as much space on the field.
So there's a Reid at centre half forwards
for Kilkenny, yeah.
That's not a surprise.
That's not a surprise. No, he's actually this Reid is Glenmore. He's not from the famous Ballyhale club, but Glenmore well represented all over through the years. But the likes of Christy Heffernan, the great O'Connors, all these lads. Owen Murphy, current Kilkenny goalie as well.
Scruff.
So they won Club All Irelands as well. So a massive club in South Kilkenny. So they are.
Yeah, I remember seeing him years ago lifting the Fitzgibbon Cup with Waterford, and he was playing right half forward that day. I think he was wearing number 10 anyway.
Murphy,
that day.
was it?
Yeah, Scruff.
Scruff, yeah. He would have played centre back for his club last couple of years in Glenmore as well. So look, he's obviously a serious quality hurler, and I'm going to be biased and probably say one of the best of all times in between the posts.
Absolutely, the save last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely instinctive.
Yeah.
You look at that, and you know we'd all look down and break down these things and try to see what he was doing. But you talk about coaching and that, 2 hands in the hurl, eye on the ball, all the way through. Like, you know, brilliant stuff, and that doesn't happen in 1 second. That happens in 10, 20 years of doing or trying to do the right things over and over again. So
you'd break that down into great detail. I remember the great Cork ladies football manager Eamon Ryan, who was a great hurling man too, sadly passed now. I remember him breaking down Dennis Bergkamp's goal for Arsenal against Newcastle, and he spent half an hour breaking down every little bit of that goal. And it sounds like you would do the same with Scruff's save there and go into every little detail, the 2 hands and everything that went into that. And maybe Scruff mightn't even be able to explain it to you in that sort of detail.
Yeah, but where I like to see them things or use those things is you're trying to convince young players when you're coaching to do this, and rather than telling them that 2 hands in the hurl is the best thing to do or keep a ring in the ball, well, if you can say to them, remember Owen Murphy's save, he had 2 hands on it, and all of a sudden it becomes not just me saying it or another coach, it becomes nearly fashionable that Owen Murphy did it, so I'm going to do it. So you're trying to relate the coach and put a picture in their head the whole time of the do's and the don'ts, and that's definitely something that you'd love to see happening as well.
Is it a natural instinct for a hurler, especially a goalkeeper, to go one-handed for something like that?
I suppose it depends on the situation as well, the type of shot that's coming in. But look at your hands. Your hurl is stronger if you have 2 hands on it. It's just basic.
And with the power of that shot, it needed the 2 hands.
It is, but you're trying to move that hurl as well and swing that hurl. And if you put your hand on one hurl,
that
you'll
sounds
swing
really
it.
hard to do when you're like off the ground. You know, you're in midair.
Yeah, but if you have your left hand, if you're right-handed like Scruff is, like Owen Murphy is, his power, his direction for the hurl is coming off his left hand, so that's why he needs his second hand on the hurl. And if he didn't have his second hand on that hurl, there's no way he's getting to that ball. So again, it's not a coincidence. It's something that he's been doing for years and years and years, just doing the basics, and that's something you'd like to see him look after the basics, and likes that save, looks after itself.
James Butler, number 15 there from Sean Tracy's breaking away there. He's anxious to get going, as are all of these players, of course, on both teams. And at the end of the previous stream, Eddie, I thought you were getting a bit excited about this game already and forgetting about what this competition is all about now. So, you know, don't forget it's about development of the game. But I know it's an instinct for you. You have to win. You have to beat Tip.
Yeah, well, I love it. It is Kilkenny v Tip, and it is about development. 100%, that's it. And you get players on the field as well. But you know, when the referee throws in the ball, this game I feel will take a life of its own as well. And I don't see that space that was in the first game. So really looking forward to see it. And look at playing these big games is part of their development as well. Playing these situations, playing their Tip, playing their neighbours. There's a chance some of these chaps might go to school together. They're in neighbouring parishes like in Ballagary, Mullinahone, all very close to Kilkenny on the border as well. So these players might know each other as well, which adds to it.
How many do you think of these Tip lads from this squad here would have been really, really close to the panel that lost here last night?
You don't know. Well, again, they're under 17, so you wouldn't expect too many to be on it. But look, over the next few years, you'll definitely see these players develop into under 20 hurlers.
So we're off and running then. It's James Owen, the referee here from Wexford, of course, All-Ireland referee, and that one blocked down immediately in Nowlan Park for this Electric Ireland Corn Michael Hogan Cup final. And big crowd has come in, bigger crowd than the previous game, understandably. Not as many came up from Cork, but a good crowd online as well for the live stream joining that. It's free and available to watch only on the official GAA YouTube channel, and Cahill has already been on. He mentions Goresbridge and says shout out to Jack Coogan at corner forward. Definitely should have made the minor panel on his thinking anyway, and well, this is the opportunity for them to prove that, because it's so competitive. It must have been really difficult in the trials to pick, because you have so many amazing young hurlers for both counties here, and they can't all get on the panel, and you make decisions and it can be fine margins, but these are maybe the best of the rest, and a few will put their hand up to say, well, okay, we didn't consider us then, but let's think about what is going on in the future, and maybe put their hand up to get on under 20s teams and that kind of thing. So this is the platform for them. This is where they can showcase what they can do. So we're expecting a very high standard here, and as Jarlath Byrne said in the match programme, this competition is a vital part of the GAA commitment to hurling, an important stepping stone between Fela and under 20s boys who didn't make the A panels, but still an incredible amount of talent and ability on show out there from both. This is Tony Marr from Holy Cross Ballycahill, and we would imagine will get the first score of the game without trying to put too much pressure on him. And indeed, there it is, first score, 1-0.
Yeah,
go.
again, yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm
Eddie.
just saying it's the opening score as well, but again, that ball into the full forward line is definitely dangerous. That, you know, Jeff Turd from O'Loughlin's across the road, they're put under a bit of pressure as well. So already, maybe it's just myself, but there's a little bit more intensity in this game than there was in the previous one, even though it's opening seconds, not even minutes.
Oh, brilliant catch. I was wondering who was going to get it on the break, but no need at all. That was Kieran Hickey, the captain. Beautiful catch under pressure there, left-handed, and has it created the first score of the game? It has. Well, you can't get better hurling than that, can you, Eddie?
No, but it's you know, I'm not saying it's simple, but it's direct. That's what we like here. A lot of us in Kilkenny just put that ball into the danger zone, into the full forward, that line, and Shane MacDonald out in front, got the ball handing over the bar. It looks simple, but a lot of practice got into that too. Absolutely.
Practice makes perfect, and doing the simple things effectively is the key. Now that one's played looking for the corner forward, but went over his head, but he might have won it back. No, he hasn't. Kilkenny clearing their lines. This comes up to Cahill Russell all the way through though. It's Michael Collins, the number 8 for Tip. 7 is Sean Welch from JK Brackens, one of 3 from that club, and off he goes, and penalised there. Was there a chop there?
It was, yeah. Look at Kieran Timmins got left behind a little bit, I suppose, and look at, that's what we talked about in the first game again, you know, keeping an eye on the ball. Unfortunately, Kieran couldn't see the ball, and his flick was on the man on the arm, not on the ball.
Yeah, you were making a good point at the end of the first stream about you need to wait until you see the ball. Don't be going blind.
Yeah, but look at it, you know, it's easy to say it up here on the back of a microphone, you know, when you're down there and you're under pressure and the blood is pumping, there's adrenaline there as well, so look at it, happens to everyone. And again, they're only young chaps as well, so.
He got one in a minute ago, but this obviously way over to the left as opposed to the previous one being right in the middle. So it's a tester, and it's gone to the right and it's gone wide. He was allowing for, well, there wasn't any wind, I don't think, to, but he went for the far post, I think, rather than the near one, and it just drifted right and wide. That one down and around. Well taken though, James Reid. Well, you were talking about direct hurling, and that's the second time they've done that. Pucked out, caught, and banged straight over the bar.
Yeah, again, brilliant score. Look at him. We talk about ball winners all the time as well. Big men, not just big men, but he's up there. He made use himself, caught a ball, and look at, you can see the talent is there. It's not just size in catching the ball. He's had to finish that as well.
Another great catch, clean catch this time for Tipperary, and driven straight into the full forward line. Nice little bit of skill by Jack Marnell. And as he got it, oh, it's just drifted wide. I think the management below us thought it was over. but it didn't. I think the catch was at number 12, was it Tony Maher maybe who caught that and put it in there, but another nice clean catch in the middle of the field.
Yeah, again, and Tipperary are actually putting in good ball into the Kilkenny full back line as well, and you see the full forward line for Tip are lively and out in front. Again, we see Jeff Turl under a bit of pressure there as well, and look at Tip look dangerous in there even early on. They're winning ball.
They are. Now, is this one going to be a clean catch or a break? Just about a break. And collected by Sean Welsh from JK Brackens, the number 7 for Tip, and this is Carroll coming out in front, and again he's trying to drill it through, but that was well intercepted by Jimmy Talon for Kilkenny. And now the low diagonal ball played into the forwards there, but not quite out of the corner, but still well done by Jack Hogan from St Martin's to Fionn Mahoney now, and that's going to be a free in. And I know this isn't exactly tactical, but can you explain to me why Kilkenny are wearing the black jerseys? Is that just what they wear in this particular competition?
Well, yeah, no, it's not. They do it in all their. Kilkenny kind of had a bit of a rejig last year in all their what they're called now academies, not squads. So all the academy teams now wear this black jersey from the Celtic Challenge 16, 15 and 14. They all wear. This is all the match jerseys for each of those teams.
And is there a theory behind that?
No, I don't think so.
But it's consistent through those age groups.
It's consistent through them all anyway, yeah, definitely.
There's three young lads up behind the goals there wearing the traditional jersey. And before the game, there were the under 15 lads were out before the first game, clearing up all the rubbish from last night. So we had the Kilkenny under 15 lads out there working for them before the game, which was a nice touch as well. Now 13 is Cian Broderick, and he's put that to the right. That's 3 wides on that same side of the post as well from Tip.
It is, yeah, 1 free and two from play as well. But again, you can see there's a little bit of physicality to this game as well, a few tackles going in. So look, hopefully just opens up as well. We could just see some great catching already. That's one aspect of the game that we've seen. A couple of Tip player caught a ball there, and the Kilkenny centre forward as well, Reid caught a ball.
Well, we get another one now, and they're looking for Aidan Carroll, but it slipped through, and James Reid in and about the house there, but that's going to be a Tip ball. Yeah, tactically, how are you reading this? I don't see any sweepers out there.
No, I don't see any sweepers, but Tip are playing with a 2-man inside full forward line, so they have an extra player somewhere. Kilkenny are playing with 3-man inside forward line, they're more together inside in the front of that square, that area there, so trying to leave the space outside them, where Tip are just with that 2-man full forward line.
And I was saying there wasn't a sweeper, but Thomas Langton there picked that up like a sweeper, but I think it was just his man dropped off, went closer to the ball. This is Kilkenny's Shane McDonald trying to get through, doesn't. Remains 3 points to 1. Tipperary with just the 1.8 minutes in, and Kilkenny definitely more economical about their play and about their scoring as well. You can count that one as a wide there technically, but it's not really.
That is why, look, he'd want to. He tried to do the right thing, but maybe if you play those balls across the field, more traditional, you can that wouldn't have went wide maybe, and you can bring more players into the game. So, likes them balls across the field, diagonal balls, probably a better option.
Tipperary seem to have done a lot of attacking, but just the 1 point to show for it in 8.5 minutes, and the Kilkenny defence has done well again. I think that was Talon again who did well, and there is that ball now. That was Russell trying to catch it and take it on the run, and he nearly got it. Instead, though, James Reid has it, and he's already put his hand up, and he's obviously a serious hurler out there. That's 2 points for him.
It is, yeah. James, like we said already, his older brother was with the under-20 at Kilkenny this year. James is a big, strong chap, and one that you'll be looking forward to see how he develops over the next few years.
2 for him, 4 for Kilkenny. 9 minutes exactly on the clock, and their defence coping at the minute rather easily with Tipperary, and now they're feeding the forwards, looking for Mahoney again. He's from Danesford, and he gets a free, and this should be a 4-point lead for Kilkenny.
Yeah, there's a bit of nostalgia for anyone listening. Is the point that the goalkeeper Conor Farrell for Kilkenny and Fionn O'Mahony, the full forward, both their dads run that Kilkenny under 20 team that won All Ireland. Of course, Fionn's dad Larry was full back, I think, on that.
I predicted that. Wasn't too hard to predict.
No.
But it is a 5-1 lead for Kilkenny. Still had to put it over, and he did. Now this puck out from Killian Franks drops right down in front of us. And on the break, who's going to get in and around there? Who's going to win it? Another free. And Tipperary guilty of giving away quite a few frees.
They are, yeah, just discipline. But again, we talked about that. The intensity in this game, I thought, was always going to be there. A bit of physicality in it as well, just the nature of whether it's a Celtic Challenge under 17 or whether it's under 14 or senior in the county match. These teams bring out the best in each other. So just a little bit of physicality, but Tipperary going to have to be careful about that.
That's gone very high and it's gone very straight and true, and it's nearly gone over the stands. It's from Aidan Carroll. He gave that everything, and it's now a 6-point lead, a 5-point lead rather, 6 points to 1 for Kilkenny, and they must have about an 80-90% accuracy rate from their efforts at the posts.
Yeah, Kilkenny just with the one wide there. I think Kieran Timmins had a wide, but interestingly enough, in the first 10 minutes, 11 minutes there now, the tip score has come from a free. They haven't scored from play yet.
Yeah, they had a few just to the right and wide, but that can all change, of course, very, very quickly. That one filters through, but the Kilkenny players just seem to be on the end of everything at the minute, and they fed Aidan Carroll, who put that one over a minute ago from a free. He goes for one from play, but just doesn't quite have the distance, but the keeper spills it, and it's gone wide. But the referee has signalled, was it a foul on the goalkeeper? He's certainly given him a free out, but that was a nervy moment for the goalkeeper as you watch it again here, Eddie. Yeah, challenge coming in, and it's a free out.
Yeah, well, I think like the keepers in the goal, like, they're under so much pressure as well. I think it's right. You know, people might look at that and say maybe it was soft or whatever, but the keepers need to be protected because of the position that they're in. And if you look at the rule, it actually doesn't talk about the tackles or physically. It talks about them being charged in the 6 yard. So that's where that free came out as well. So they have to be protected.
Another word coming in on the live chat messages, backing up what you were saying about the connections and the history here. Ray says Langton, number 6. That's Thomas Langton, number 6 from Young Ireland's for Kilkenny. Just watching the play develop as I'm explaining this, just in case there's something happens. And he says that Langton is a nephew of the great John Tennyson.
Oh, very good. Very good. John Tennyson, course from Carrickshock. Another man that started, was it the 06 final? I think he started maybe centre back in that. I think he finished the day with, as a referee blew the whistle, I think he had the ball in his hand that day.
That's the connections, lots of famous connections, and I feel that there's a lot of respect out here by both sets of players who probably know each other very well from down the years, from schools and clubs. Yeah,
I'd imagine. Look again, but like back to the tradition, back to the Kilkenny tip thing. You know, we love to tackle each other, we love to take on each other, we love to play each other and win. So there's always that respect. Love to play each other, but definitely a respect. And I'm sure there's loads of connections there as well. If people want to text in that as well about the tip teams that maybe we're not familiar with ourselves.
And the crowd, I mean, I feel that there's a bigger crowd, but they're not making as much noise as the previous crowd. They're here, they're real hurling people, and they're really just watching this develop, and they're just enjoy watching these lads go at it.
And I'm sure now as the game goes on and the minutes get closer to the end, I'm sure it'll get, especially if it's tight.
Yes, this is Reid again. He's certainly got the bright boots on, and he's playing bright hurling as well. He's going for his own score there from a serious distance.
Score.
Well, that's 3 for him, and that's a monster from the man from Glenmore. Where have we heard it before? Reid scores for Kilkenny.
Yeah, 3 points, and again, it's back to that thing we're on about these players didn't make an A team, and I guarantee you, Niall Bergen, the Kilkenny minor manager, I guarantee he's in the stand, and obviously he knows these players very, very well, but that's one that you're looking at going, the centre forward must be very, very good that the minors have.
Absolutely. Bergen, wasn't there a Kieran Bergen years ago for Tip, wasn't there? Not that long ago either.
No, I think it was a yellow or an orange helmet he used to wear, yeah. Yeah,
and he played a bit of college as well. He sort of came to it a bit late, I think, as well. You know, maybe mid-20s or something. He had a couple of good years there with Tip.
I think he was a defender, wasn't he?
I think I saw him at college level playing more. I suppose he played more midfield at college level. Gives more half forward, I think. This is put in there. And broken down goalkeeper on the case, but that could easily end it up in the net. It might still end up as a score by Cal Russell from Tullaroan, and it is. He picked up the pieces there really nicely. A couple of nervy moments there under the dropping ball.
Yeah, but I think the Tipperary goalkeeper there, Killian Franks from Shannon Rovers, I think he done extremely well, because as the Kilkenny player broke the ball, it was there to be struck on the ground, but he closed down the space, and really, really good goalkeeping. I think you have to give him credit for that time.
Threat of goal a few times up there, though, which we haven't had at the other end. So 8 points to 2 as the sun gets a little bit brighter. which means it's going to be a little bit tougher for the players out there in the heat. And that particular end of the pitch here in Nowlan Park also isn't in great nick just at the moment, as you see them coming through there. So keep the ball in the hand, and that's what they do. And there's that ball out of defence, but it's well read by Dermot Fogarty from Kildangan, the number 2, coming forward. Just drives it low, looking for somebody down this left-hand side, and Billy O'Brien was there, but it was Kilkenny who swept that one up, and they put their own diagonal ball right over to that far corner, and it's nicely taken as well. I think it's Shane McDonald. No, it's actually Cathal Russell going for his score and gets it. And they really punish you, and they're really economical when they move the ball forward, and the ball can be over the bar within a couple of seconds of them winning it back.
Definitely, and Cathal Russell again, really good positive play out in front attacking his man, and he got 2 points as well. So look at the Kilkenny forwards, they have 3 of them now. They have 6 points from play, which is really, really promising in the opening 15 minutes.
This is Charlie Noonan. Puts that over. That's a hard one to defend, but it's better for the forward, and he tries to take it, gets it at the second time. James Marnell. Is it Marnell or Marnell? It's a bit like Parnell, is it?
Marnell, I'd say down here. Marnell, yeah.
He puts it over anyway, and that's a 3rd point. And is that their first from play or second? Certainly,
that's their first from play, yeah.
Yeah, it's taken 16 minutes.
Yeah, they're 2 from frees, but again, Tip likes that. He seems to be lively enough there, Marnell on the ball, Jack Marnell, so get him more ball in there.
That one's going to go all the way through. Reid not quite able to get there, but a sheer presence, I think, forced that error. And off he goes, but the defender recovered well. That's the Tipperary blue captain, isn't it? Shay Gleeson. That's a big 1-to-1 there when you think about it. Shay Gleeson against James Reid. That's going to have a bearing in this game. It's Dara Behan, the number 2, going for that, but penalised. There's another connection coming in there. I'll let you read that one and see what you make sense of. The connection is that
down here. Will Smallbone, Southampton winner last weekend, and Conor Farrell in goal are first cousins.
I'm not sure. I don't understand the first bit of that, but thanks for the message, Larry. Should be another score, this time for Tony Maher. See all the crowd in here, and there's a complete hush.
Yeah, the way it should be if he's standing over a ball.
Exactly. 4th point for Tip.
Yeah, 3 from frees, and the 1 then from Jack Marnell. So again, look at Tip, 9 points to 4 down, but they just need to keep tipping away at those scores as well. And look at, they might get a goal chance as well, get them back into the game, but just don't panic early stages and keep moving that ball and keep ticking over the chances.
Well read by Noonan for Tipperary, but on the break it was read by Kieran Hickey. Oh, and he's got in there just in front, hasn't he? Cathal Russell again. He has been lively, and he's got another score to his name, and that was well read. Nice sharp play from him, and once he got the space he wasn't going to miss.
No, it wasn't. He brave in there, get the little flick on it, play it into space, get the ball in your hand, and no messing, just get it over the bar, keep the scoreboard ticking over.
He's given it to his defender right on the sideline here, and then the pressure comes in from Mahoney, and he's trying to get away with it, but 3 men on him. And you were talking about Tipperary and tipping away. They scored 734 in their last 2 games, by the way. 314 against Galway and 420 against Tipperary gold, so they have been free-flowing before today.
Yeah, but traditionally, there's hurlers in Tip, there's good stick men, loads of skill and all that, and well able to score and create chances, so not surprising with their stats.
Luke Lawler putting it high in there and wide. On the other side of that, Kilkenny haven't actually scored a goal in the quarterfinals or semi-finals or today as yet, but they certainly tip over the points. Not 22 against Cork City. They scored not 20 against Waterford, but won both of those games comfortably, but they haven't scored any goals. I wonder will we see that change today. This is Sean Welsh from JK Brackens. That looks like it's going to come in. That was unlucky, it was one of those ones you thought that's going to come in, and it just didn't.
It didn't as well, and a really good play by Sean Welch up along that left-hand wing. Like you say, normally those ones you get under the ball a little bit, so you create that bit of a slice in the ball that it does come in as well. So he's a bit unlucky with that, but really good play. And Tip, they just need that. Get on the ball and keep charging up the field.
No short puckouts in this game so far. Well, we'd 1 minute ago at the other end for Tip now I think about it, but most of them have gone long, going for the big guys around the half forward line, and there is one of those big guys, Reid, who's battling in there, but it looks like Tony Maher is going to come out with it, and he does, and it's Tip again, and they don't even look, they just put it down into that corner, but maybe they should have looked because it's gone straight to Kieran Hickey. He read that one well, and it's Kilkenny possession now. Tyrrell, wherever I heard that name before in Kilkenny, this fella from O'Loughlin Gales, as you say, right across the road, and we mean across the road from here. It's a nice hook coming in there by Russell. He's made a very impressive start to this game, but it's anybody's ball now, and the referee James Owens right on the spot with the whistle poised, but very much letting them go at it. And now Russell does emerge a little bit fortunately, but then the challenge comes in on him, and it's Michael Collins, number 8, and then assisted by Noonan. They clear their lines, and now there's room over on this far side for Billy O'Brien. They just feed it into the forwards, and it's gone right through the two of them. That's Jeff Tyrrell trying to close his man out over on the clubhouse side there, but he's still going, and that's impressive play. He goes to ground, and the referee has blown, and that indeed will be another free. We'll have another look at it here, Eddie, if you like. Good play by the forward, drawing the free.
It is really good positive play, isn't it? But like, they are getting a little bit of success in there, in that full forward line, the few balls they've put in. Again, Jack Marnell has a point from play, but early on he got a ball and it looked dangerous as well, and that looked dangerous as well in on the goal, but they are putting pressure on the likes of Jeff Tyrrell in there in that cornerback. So look, if they can get the ball in there, I think they will create chances, to be honest.
Robbie Chadwick wants to know, is Reid related to TJ Reid? I think I asked you this the other night.
I don't think he is. I'm sure someone will correct me. They're down, there wouldn't be neighbouring parishes, but they'll be very close down to South Kilkenny.
This is Tony Maher again. 10 points to 4. This to make it 10-5. Defenders on the line as if they're poised for him to go for goal, but he was never going to go for goal there. 10 points to 5, 15 points in the game, 22 minutes played, and we've had a sniff of a goal once or twice, but nothing really clear cut. The players just happy to tip away at the points. Kilkenny leading Tipperary blue. That one going over to the far side there, looking for Russell. Doesn't get it though. And it's Tipperary's at the big midfielder O'Brien, I think it is, but Kilkenny with their own number 9, Kieran Timmins, does well. This is Hickey, and Hickey puts it in there. A little bit tricky for the forward there. There was 3 Kilkenny or Tipperary players there, and they managed to get it away. They feed it through to Welsh, and off he goes, but he needs a little bit of help. And that's a clever little pass. I thought he was going to go back to Gleeson. Instead he put it out to the side, and that was blocked down, and I think it was Timmins working hard there to block that for Kilkenny. And the possession seems to change hands very frequently, but they've dug that one out, Tip, and got the score out of it, and that was a really nice score in the end, and it brings it back to a 4-point game, and they are really digging it out at the minute. They're having to get stuck in there, and I think it was Michael Collins who got it.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was. Was it Michael Collins?
Was it 8 here? I think it maybe was.
It was, yeah, Michael Collins, yeah. But again, it's that Billy O'Brien, his midfield partner. He's picking up positions on the right hand side. He's an outlet for that ball as well. Tipper have to use them twice, so that's something maybe they could use a bit more going forward.
Look at this kill at close quarters and the strength from Reid, and a nice little solo there by the midfielder Timmins again. He tries to feed it through, but that was easily read by the Tipperary defence, and it's the full-back, it's Cathal Hannon. He's from Newport, did well there, and this is Carroll. He feeds it in, looking for Butler. One-on-one there, closely watched by Tyrrell. Can he get in behind? He did a minute ago and won a free, or one of the forwards did.
Yeah, he's after winning another free.
And he's got another one, yeah.
Again, we spoke about that ball into the full forward line for Tipperary has looked dangerous in the early stages. They haven't had much success off it, but it is looking dangerous. And again, Jeff Tyrrell now on a yellow card. He's under pressure now for the rest of this game.
Was that an accumulation, do you think?
I think it was, yeah. I don't think there was anything too sinister in that one, but like you say, for an accumulation of fouls maybe.
Interesting question for you here. Apparently, according to the rule book, the hook tackle in hurling is actually a foul. Can you confirm?
No. Well, I'm up for correction again, but where I believe maybe he might be going is playing the hurl. But you're allowed to play the hurl if the ball is there.
Yeah.
So
another point for Tip, and that is about 3 in a row for Tip, isn't it?
Yep.
Got it back to a 3-point game because it was 6-point game. Yeah, 3 in a row at least.
Again, and Tip, it says they've really come into the game. Like you said, 3 points, so down to a 1 score. So be interested to see now if Tip can come up with a goal, put pressure on Kilkenny and see how they react.
Absolutely, but Kilkenny themselves haven't scored a goal in the last couple of games. Doesn't augur well with plenty of goals in the first game. We like to see goals, but of course not absolutely vital, but just for entertainment value alone. This is Hickey, gives it out to Russell. He looks very athletic and inventive and creative and a good finisher as well, but that was well read by Shade Leeson, the captain for Tip there, and he stayed nice and composed and just got his hurl up, and that's going to be a 65. Yeah, it's a pretty even contest now. It was in danger of going a little bit away from Tipperary there, but I didn't really feel it was ever going to. They didn't panic by any means.
No, they're just a bit slower getting into the game, and look at they're again a good team and all that, so look at they're definitely going to get their purple patch in a game. Most teams do, so look at if they can capitalise on that now with plenty of scores, get themselves right back into it.
And Carroll does that with a score. What club is Marnell? Says Owen. He's JK Brackens. And someone asks, how did the Cork teams go? Well, the earlier game today, the first stream here, East Cork won it. They beat Dublin. With 4 teams, of course, in the competition. The block down makes the ball go over the side. And interesting, Eddie, in the first game by this stage, there were about 4 or 5 substitutions. We haven't seen any so far in this game.
No, I didn't think there might be. Look at it, yeah, it was brilliant to see. Look at in the interest of this development competition, it's brilliant to see all the players getting on the field, as both teams in the first game did. Just see how this game pans out that way.
26, nearly 27 minutes gone. Thomas Langton feeds it. Russell, he seems to be involved all the time. And a nice little knockdown from him for his teammate. Is that turning into a pass? No, just gone over, and it's gone wide for Kilkenny, and it remains a 4-point game.
Yeah, and you mentioned Russell there as well, and his half-hour line partner there as well, James Reid. Both of them have 3 points each for playing the first half, so Kilkenny are really dominant around that area of the field. But again, we see Tip coming out, and here they are now for winning the free. So in that area, they maybe have more bodies there now, is it? And that's what they're winning more ball. And like the scores that Reid and Russell got are earlier in the game as well. So look at Tip doing really well and fighting really well to get back into the game. So like I said, just get a couple of more scores, and if they could, even for themselves, get a goal.
Collins sort of epitomises the way they have dug in. He's not the biggest fella out there, but he's getting stuck in and around the middle, and he's winning some decent ball.
Yeah, he's not bad, I suppose, like the minor manager from Tip, James Woodlock. He's kind of that maybe physique as well and that energy.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a wasted ball up the field. Easy for Tip here, and it is Collins again, just feeding the ball off and giving it to his captain, Gleeson. This is Broderick. This is Noonan. And can he put it over from there? He's found his range nicely, and it's now a 3-point game again, and that's 19 scores in the first 28 minutes of this game.
Yeah, brilliant play as well, off the shoulder stuff, working the ball up the field, and Charlie Noonan then in space as well, just 45-50 yards out, and put that ball over the bar. So really, really good score, really well worked by Tipperary.
You sort of feel that this is going to be a second half game, really. They're just pointing away at the minute, they're just sparring.
Yeah, a goal, like I said, a goal would make it very interesting, I think.
Well taken by Walsh for Tipperary Blue. And looking to put it down into the corner, but it was blocked by Luke Lawler. This is Timmins. He puts it, well, he's looking to put it in the corner, but overhit it. He was looking for Reid, who'd moved over there. So coming up to half time, 1 minute left of normal time. Won't be too much added on, I would imagine, by James Owens.
There will be at least one additional minute of playing time.
1 minute extra. Although this is the biggest delay we've had so far. And he doesn't connect with that properly, and Shane MacDonald has it. Can they capitalise? Well, it's Fionn Mahoney, and he gets through. Is he going to use Hogan or go himself? He goes himself and finds it and puts it in the corner as well. And Tipperary dillied and dallied a little bit there, and they were punished. First goal of the game, and it's Kilkenny's first goal in 3 games, and a nice finish to the end of the first half for them. Well finished, right into the corner.
Yeah, brilliant goal by Fionn. Probably made it hard on himself in the end, the way he dropped the ball. Mishandled it as well and had to pull on it. But Fionn is a really, really fast player and very, very capable of doing that as well. So look, at Kilkenny have their goal. You said they hadn't got it in their previous couple of games as well. So that puts a perfect time in to score a goal. So it puts a really different look on the score now at half time.
And a yellow card as well for this man, Kyle O'Dowd. And he's from Durlas Og. Where's that? Is that Thurles?
Thurles, yeah.
That's Thurles,
Thurles Og, yeah.
Cathal Russell now, again, one of the players of the first half. Luke Lawler now for Kilkenny, looking to add another one, and he puts it over nicely from wing back. And Kilkenny just stretching ahead a little bit as we come to the end of the first half. There was 3 in it, and now all of a sudden there's 7 in it.
Again, yeah, really good response from the Kilkenny chaps just to up it after Tipperary came back to the 3 points in it as well. But
beautifully taken by Billy O'Brien, wasn't it?
Yeah, he is. He's a big, strong lad, but he's doing well in the games, and he has, like I said, he has been an option when Tipper coming out in the ball. He's picking up that position there between, say, number 5 and number 10, where he's free as well. So look at he seems to be able to get around the field a little bit as well, and looks a little bit clever. So good big player for Tipperary.
They're going to have to be clever in the second half. They've now got a 7-point deficit. Maybe they'll find it easier to score at the other end in the second half. Maybe they'll bring on a lot of subs. We will see. Padraig Dermott, he says, was there only one Kilkenny team in the competition? And maybe, do you know, or how many of them? Tipper obviously have Tipperary blue, and they must have had a couple of teams, yeah, as we come to the end of the first half.
Yeah, so to Kilkenny, yeah, only one team in this competition for Kilkenny.
And they lead at half time, 1-12 to 8 points. An entertaining first half. 20 points scored and a goal right at the end, which puts daylight between the teams. Tipperary blue with it all to do in the second half. Kilkenny in the driving seat for this Electric Ireland Corn Michael Hogan Cup here in Nowlan Park. We'll be back with the second half of the live stream. We're going to take a little bit of bit off a break. We've done 2 games today and 2 games yesterday as well, and we're now down to the last half of the Celtic Challenge games this weekend. So we'll come back with the second half of this final shortly. You join us right at the start of the second half, and me with still half a Twix in my mouth, but I'll try to keep talking and not get the toffee stuck in my teeth. At the start of the second half of the 2024 Electric Ireland Corn Michael Hogan Cup Final, Kilkenny in the black, leading at half-time against Tipperary Blue, and they've just given the ball straight away to Michael Collins for Tipperary Blue, and they give it straight to Thomas Langton, who will put the pressure back on them. 112 to 8 points. Kilkenny just opened up a gap at the end of the first half and opened up a 7-point lead, and that nearly opened up a cut because it was quite high, and if the helmet hadn't have been there, surely there would have been a cut there. Let's watch that again. Now it's just a little bit of loose play, shall we say. And the referee showing a red card for that challenge, and it's Kyle O'Dowd who has been sent to the sideline, and he is obviously very, very disappointed with himself right at the start of the second half. That's a blow for Tipperary Blue, and Eddie Doyle has just joined us. Eddie, you probably didn't see that because you were running up the stairs there. Can we play a replay of that for Eddie there? We might miss the score, so maybe wait until after the score. And it's Aidan Carroll, who I imagine will get the score. No, he doesn't. Well, to be fair, it was quite a distance out. Here it is, Eddie. So this is a red card coming up here for that. And it's a cornerback, Kyle O'Dowd from Thurles, from Durlasogue, and Tipperary Blue down to 14, and now also trailing by 7 points.
Yeah, look at it. It's unfortunate. Don't think there was much aggression in the tackle, but it probably was a bit high, and it's just unfortunate. You don't want to see anyone get sent off, and especially a 17-year-old like that on a big day like today from. So yeah, it's just more, I think, unlucky, just the nature of the height of the tackle.
Absolutely. Carroll again from a similar position puts it in, and he's found Fionn Mahoney, and there should be a goal, could be a goal, isn't the goal.
No, side netting.
Wrong side. The net lifted, but the wrong side. Lively start to the second half anyway, and Tipperary Blue under all sorts of pressure. The 14 will have to step up. I see number 25 on there now for Tipperary, and 28. 25 is Dara Dunn from Carrick Swan. 28 Conor Grace from Burgess. Is that how you pronounce it?
Burgess, yeah.
Burgess.
That's it.
So at least 2 subs for Tipperary Blue at half time after no subs in the first half at all. In fact, there's a third. 17 is in as well. That's Killian Doreen from CJ Kickham's Mulnahone.
That's right, the club of the likes of John Lahey and Owen Kelly, Brian O'Mara and Paul Kelly and all those lads.
So he's on at least one of 3 changes at half time, and they've only 14 players out there now. He's eyeing this up as if he's going for a score well inside his own half. Has Tony Maher measured it? No, he hasn't. Just gone to the left, and it was being kept in, actually, I think, by the Kilkenny player, and it nearly cost them, but they've got a free out. James Owens had no hesitation with a red card there at all, and sad to see that in a game like this, which has been played in a great spirit. Absolutely not one dirty stroke, I think, in the entire first half, or hardly over the entire weekend in all the games. Oh, that's nicely taken, nearly beautifully taken himself in the hand by Charlie Noonan, but it's still Tipperary. Oh, Kilkenny have got it back. That's Jack Coogan. Sweeping here is Shay Gleeson coming across, and he gets a little bit of support. They're playing it through the lines. That's Collins. Wasn't meant to get to this man, but did. It was Dara Dunn, 25, and now Noonan again. He puts it in there, but the defending by Tyrrell, who was under pressure in the first half and got a yellow card as well, but Kilkenny have done well here, and the referee is now going to talk to one of the Kilkenny players.
He is, for something we've seen. He had given the Tipperary player advantage coming out, before that free developed here just outside the D. So he's going back to talk there to number 13 for Kilkenny,
Coogan,
who was Jack Coogan.
And he got a yellow. Tip now sending in another sub, number 18, David McSweeney from St Mary's. So that's going to be at least 4 changes at half time and in the 4.5 minutes since then. Don't see any Kilkenny changes so far at all. Man coming off for Tip is Tommy Blackmore, 5 from Ballingarry. Tipperary looking to get their first score of the game, and it is indeed their 9th point, makes it a 6-point game.
It is. He's very good from frees. The Tipperary wing forward Tony Maher from Holy Cross Ballycal. He's it's a great way of keeping him in the game. His accuracy as well, and every team. Again, we talk about from under 14 to senior, whether it's club or inter-county, they need a good free taker, and the likes of Tony Marr there has proven as such for Tipperary.
Do you remember right at the start of the game they had a couple of wides, and it almost seemed to affect their confidence when they missed a couple of frees early on, and they weren't from easy positions, but it almost seemed to affect them, and they only scored 1 point in the first quarter.
That's right, from the full forward Jack Marnell, and they haven't really hit him with enough of ball, and the full forward line at times did look dangerous, but they just didn't give him enough ball.
This is Conor Grace battling along the right. He lost his hurl but got rid of the ball. Did well.
It's a Tipperary ball, I think.
It is now, yeah. Dara Dunn just leaves it for Marr. You heard what you were saying, complimenting him, and he's going to line this up. And what's he doing on the grass there? He hasn't even got the ball, but he's putting it in there now. But he prepared the ground first.
And you think these set piece specialists, you haven't seen him take one yet now, but I imagine it will be good.
Just as you say that.
Typical.
Yep, the curse. Oh, and he got in there with a great block though, didn't he?
That was brave. That would impress me, yeah. I love that.
You love that?
I love that, yeah. A bit of honesty,
Absolutely. Now, Kilkenny still persist though, and they've got Kieran Timmins coming through. It's a 15 against 14, and maybe you have the spare man there, but the tackle came in. I take it you like that one, even though it was a Tipperary man.
Yeah, it was, but maybe there was a tug of a jersey maybe at that time as well.
Yeah, but the bit after that you might appreciate. Yeah. Oh, now it's getting a little bit heated. James is showing red and yellow in the second half, and it's Luke Lawler who's going to be in a bit of bother here, probably a yellow.
Exactly. You don't want to see yellow cards or that level of a tackle that gets a yellow card or definitely a red card, but you just love to see that bit of bite and aggression and that intensity. Exactly, all those things you love to see in a game, but you don't want it to go out of control by any stretch of the imagination.
No, thin line between intensity and dirt.
Exactly, yeah.
But most of the lads will keep within the line. But Tip with a 14, looking to get their second score in a row and just break down that gap a little bit more. With 7 points this to make it 5. A hush in Nowlan Park. And I think he's just put that to the left, and he has. Yeah, he just missed it. Unlucky.
But it's interesting, Tipperary still playing with a 2-man full forward line, even though they're down to 14 players.
Yeah, so where's the spare man for Kilkenny? As you see now from the puck out, they're moving them all around, trying to make a little bit of room, and they found a bit of room for Jamie Talon, but he was closed down very quickly and intelligently by Dara Dunn, and off he goes. But good defending by Dara Behan for Kilkenny.
Chop.
Yep. They're looking at bringing in another sub, Kilkenny, or is this their first actually?
This will be their first.
Callum Lawler from Emeralds, number 19.
Yeah, Callum will come into the forwards, I'd imagine, from the club of the Kilkenny senior manager, Derek Ling.
Well, they haven't exactly started the second half on fire from a forward's point of view.
No. Coincidentally, Callum is actually a very good footballer, a Gaelic footballer, which we don't have too many of in Kilkenny, but he's actually a very, very good one.
I'm glad you said that. I was thinking.
I don't want too many that play at a high level, but no, Callum is I've seen Callum playing loads of club football.
Yeah.
Very good with both feet. So yeah, very good footballer and a very good hurler. Excellent free taker actually as well.
Talking of free taking, this is Marr, and has he got that? No, he hasn't. He's put it to the right. Yeah, we were debating the dual player yesterday, and Alexa Tyrone won. And of course Tyrone's a big football county, but a lot of the lads came over to the hurling and they really bought into it, and they were fantastic yesterday, absolutely superb, and I don't mean that in any sort of condescending way. I mean, they were serious hurling, and the manager is a manager, interestingly, you'll appreciate this, who only quit playing last year after 14 years county, and they got him straight in. Yeah, and he just seemed to connect, and he's got the boys all buying out of it, and it's all been really well organised, the strength and condition and everything else. It's been done very professionally, and that's what this competition brings out, and that's when it can accelerate development, and in cases like that there, it seems really, really beneficial.
It does, yeah, and it's so important, like, getting that man in as the manager. Like, it's timing as well. When there's a bit of it, when there's interest there, or when you see something, you have to get on it really quick. Like, you can't just wait, rest on the laurels.
But you could have lads, I mean, he was saying that in football you could be out training 3 or 4 nights of the week with county and club, and with the hurling he's saying this is 1 or 2 nights regular games, played at a good level. I mean, he was saying that it suited him, and it was a good setup to come into in this competition format, and the way it's organised seems to allow itself for that. So it was an interesting case. You know, it's not down here in the hurling strongholds, but it's a county there where they've really benefited. Yeah,
and look, if he comes in and gets success, you know, which he has, you like to keep them people involved at any level you can get. So look, it's just important putting the right people in the right places.
112 plays 9 and 6 points. We've had a red card in the second half, but not an awful lot else, to be honest. That's Dara Dunn. He came on at half time and he's been working
doing
really
very
hard.
well, yeah.
Yeah, he's been all over the field and he's won that, and he's still gone up the field looking for a return. Instead, Tony Marr goes the other direction but doesn't feed it through to Collins, who's also worked very, very hard in this game. This is Aidan Carroll for Kilkenny to Russell. No, it's not Russell, that's Hogan. And he's bottled up right on the sideline, but still gets away and fires it in there, and it could be dangerous, but it's going to be brought back.
Sideline
was
ball.
Over the line.
Yeah.
Oh,
linesman right on him there.
Yeah, must have just stepped over before that. So we're on the official GAA YouTube channel, and it's free to view, and there's a live chat there if you want to leave a comment or a message or tell us where you're watching the game from. Big audience online. Big crowd here as well in UPMC Nowlan Park for this game, as you would expect. Any game between Tipperary and Kilkenny. This is Tipperary blue against Kilkenny. Nicely taken back there by the centre half back and captain Shade Leeson. He's from Moneygall. It looked like they had a spare player there, but of course they don't. They've only 14 players at the minute. This is done. Takes that one easily and feeds an interesting ball through to Grace. The two subs who came on at half time combining, and he's rode one challenge and then another and feeds it out, and the referee is going to give him a free for one of those challenges, but he has certainly been direct, and Tipperary subs have stepped it up after the red card.
Yeah, definitely. Dara Dunn has come in there, number 25, and he's all over the field, and he's getting on ball as well, and he's playing clever ball. He's going to take this free now as well, so he is.
He is,
but he's after doing really, really well since he came in.
I thought Marr was the man for those. He's given him a bit of a rest. So it's Dara Dunn. And he nails it. And it's a 5-point game now. (112) plays 10. You feel Tipperary are going to need a goal at some point. It's going to be tough with 14 players. I'm just looking around to see where the spare player is. It's a full-back for Kilkenny. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you're saying Tipperary with the two-man full forward line. This is Talon, Jamie Talon, with a little bit of room, and he should put this over, and he does, right over the black spot, and Kilkenny respond immediately to make it 113-10 and just keep that 6-point gap, and that's what they're going to try and do for the rest of this half. They've 17 minutes to go. They're just trying to keep Tipperary at bay and force Tipperary to really go for it, and then they'll hit them on the break.
Exactly, yeah, but just like you said, but you just can't give Tipperary a chance either, a goal chance in there, because 14 men or 15 men, if they get a goal, you know, that'll get the momentum going for them as well. But look, Tipperary are not lying down, as you'd expect. They're really good. In this chapter, number 7 has come up the field.
Sean Welch loads
of times. He probably deserves that to go over the bar. Yeah,
and it's gone
fully
over.
Deserved. Yeah, he's fully deserved. If you remember in the first half, he had that chance right behind the ball. He put it to the right post, but made no mistake there, and he fully deserves that score.
That's the kind of score that can lift a game and
exactly,
change a game.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming up to the last quarter, and it's getting interesting. I mean, I was just talking about Kilkenny wanting to keep Tip at bay, but you know, that's a dangerous game to play.
It is a dangerous game, you know, but like you said, Kilkenny, just keep the scoreboard ticking over. But Tipperary, the same thing as well. Don't panic, there's loads of time left. Keep that scoreboard ticking over for Tip, and if the goal chance comes, then they have to be clinical and they have to take it.
A big hit from the small fella there. Collins in there with a challenge, and his man was off balance, so it looked kind of bad, but it's still a free for Kilkenny. It's interesting there, we were talking about the spare man being the fullback, but the Tipperary two full forwards have split them, and what it means is then that they're not getting the short puck out, they're not getting easy possession, so they're kind of nullifying the extra man there in that occasion.
Yeah, it's got, like, Tip on that ball landing where they have man on man, where Kilkenny don't have the numerical advantage, you know, they have it in the back, so split them and try force Kilkenny to go along, and then it's 50-50 down on top of the Tipperary backs.
Well, Tony Maher, you were saying, is a great free taker. He was replaced on the frees, and now he's been replaced completely. Number 26, I think, is Larry Collins. Is it have gone in? Oh, was that nearly ended up in the net? I was looking at my subs, and in a flash, Kilkenny nearly had a goal, and Tipperary have survived. Interesting ball out of defence, but it's been intercepted by Reid, and he's trying to get through, but that area of the ground isn't terrific at the minute, and I think that maybe hindered him a little bit there. Otherwise he might have been through for a goal, but the game is definitely heated up, and that is 26. This is indeed the Tipperary blue man, Larry Collins from Sean Tracy's, who's come in, and here he is again, and he's showing good tenacity and good speed and a little bit of power and a nice layoff as well. Well, it was nearly a nice layoff, but intercepted, well read by Shea, or rather by Thomas Langton for Kilkenny, and things have just gone up a notch. Regina Meyer on the live chat says young Michael Collins playing really well for Tip. That's a good point indeed. 113 plays 11, 5-point game and 14 minutes to go.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how far or how close to the goal Connor gets with this, because Connor's got a big strike on the ball, so he's just outside his own 45 here.
So this is Connor Carroll, the goalkeeper.
Connor Farrell.
Yeah. Connor Farrell, sorry.
That's him, yeah.
And he puts it very high. It's going to drop in and around the 13. And this is Mahoney on his right hand side, gets it away and just about goes over. I think there was some kind of a block on it there, but he got it over. That's the important thing. That's 114, back to a 6-point game, and Kilkenny bringing on a sub now, and it's Cian Doherty, number 18 from Thomastown, and he's come in for Kieran Timmins, who's had a decent game himself.
He's probably just ran himself into the ground a little bit. He's carried a lot of balls, so I'd say it's just tiredness for Kieran.
Yeah, he put in a good shift. Fresh legs for the last 13 or 14 minutes for Kilkenny. This is Noonan. He's bottled up, but he's also fouled. And Collins looking to take it quickly. And he does take it as quickly as he can, but it's intercepted by Talon, who's done well to get in there ahead of his man. Tries to clear his lines and does. Now on the break, Kilkenny. Oh, and a nice layoff, and it was brave as well. You could see the challenge coming in. Tricky one for defenders, this one, but well read by Shane McDonald from Barrow Rangers. He has an eye for goal. Good save by the goalkeeper. That's Killian Franks, and that was a vital save at this stage of the game. That could have been more or less curtains for Tipperary, but he's kept his team in it there, and it might even lift him if they can counter here with a score, but that one's a little bit loose. Is it going to go through? Oh, beautifully taken. He's turned that into a great pass. That's Charlie Noonan from St Patrick's, and he's laid it off to Jack Marnell, and he's trying to get through. Is he fouled? He is fouled. He can't get his strike away, but the free had already been given, and it will be a score surely at the other end, Eddie, and that could be an important 30 seconds.
Yeah, definitely an important score, but it's that man again. We spoke about him in the first half, Jack Marnell. Probably hasn't got a supply of ball.
Just have another look at it here, the save.
Oh, yeah.
You can see he was going for the corner. Tricky one for the keeper, but he read it well.
He read it well, eh? Probably had an option left and right for a pass, but look at you're in there as well, and you're confident you want to take on them shots again. But yeah, the Jack Marnell. But here's number 25 now for Tip, Dara Dunn coming up. He tried the last free there as well, but he's going to take this. He'll go for it, I'd say, will he?
Ooh, you're the expert.
I wouldn't say that.
It's a little bit early, is it not?
It's a little bit early, but again, you don't know.
He's shaping as if he is. No. Oh, he is. Easily enough saved out for a 65, and it was Connor Farrell who got across there with a little bit of help. Yeah,
look at perfect height for someone standing on the sideline or on the goal line there to get to that, and I just felt Tip were going to go for it. Again, look at, like you said, the timing of it and all that, but they're probably not creating enough chances, and apart from that 3-point gap in the first half, haven't got close to Kilkenny, so maybe that they felt was an opportunity to get that little bit closer and build a bit of momentum, I suppose. But down to 14 men as well, you're looking for to get some sort of an opportunity.
They'll still get a point out of this, you would imagine, or is that going to the right? Oh, it's going to the right. And he had all the time there, and he was from play as well, and Kilkenny were a bit slack. Should have got a score there, so they've missed out on a goal and a point there. But from the strike, he didn't get the power in it, did he? It was a little bit.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate for Michael Collins, because he's doing really well. We'd love to see that one for him going over the bar.
Conor Farrell then. Oh, he's giving it straight to Tips number 10, Noonan, and he's giving it straight back. And you know, that's 3 in a row really where Tipperary should have had a score, and they haven't got a score out of any of those 3 efforts. You know, arguably all 3 of them could have been a point, should have been a point.
Yeah, when chances are they're not coming as often as they'd like, they just need to be capitalised on a few of them.
Reid, he's been quiet. Good defending by
Brilliant
Shea
defending,
Gleeson,
brilliant defending, yeah.
Maybe that's why he's been quiet.
It has, yeah. He's just got the grips with him in the second half. But Shea Gleeson got in the first tackle and got in the flick then again. So yeah, really good defending by Tip, and they're not lying down. You wouldn't expect them to lie down, but it's been really good from them at times, especially in their backs as well. It's been really good from them.
When Reid gets it like that, though, there's an expectation in the crowd. You can hear it, and he looks like he's going to go and take them on and bury it, but he just hasn't been allowed to. It's good defending by Gleeson. That one has gone all the way over the bar. That's brilliant. Absolutely superb skill. And Kilkenny stretched their lead again. And the crowd, I think they enjoyed it and gave even more applause because they were right behind it.
Absolutely, yeah. That's Callum Lawler, the sub there. Yeah, from Emeralds. Great sideline ball.
The clash of the ash. Clear to hear. And that's Langton putting it in there as Kilkenny looking to drive home here with the extra player and the advantage now of 7 points, and that's a full forward Mahoney, but the keeper reading that one. So we're back to 7 points. It was 7 points at half time and we're still there, so not much has happened on the scoreboard. Kilkenny had a glimmer of a goal chance a few minutes ago, and Tipperary have been trying to knock on the door. They got it back to 5. I think that was as good as it got for them. But the 14 men still very plucky and still trying their best here. And we're getting to the stage now where they're really just going to have to go for it. And that's easily read in there by Kieran Hickey, the captain. And he remained composed. And the clearance from Carroll down into that corner. And that's going to go all the way over. And we are now into the last 10 minutes. Well, into the last 9, in fact, nearly the last 8. And time running out for Tipperary Blue.
It is Tipperary continuing to make a few changes here as well. I see Kilkenny with another one. Kilkenny with number 20, Robbie Jackman coming on, and Tipperary with number 30 there.
Leland Donoghue from Durlasog
as well, yeah.
Yeah. 65 for Kilkenny with that 7-point lead. Carroll puts it wide. So Tipperary need to lift it here, need to really go for it. Collins gets rather easy possession and turns away as well. He certainly will never give up. He's a great player, but he's hooked there, or challenged certainly enough to lose the ball. But they still get it, and here come Tipperary with their number 28, Conor Grace, off his left side, and that's a decent point.
Brilliant score.
That's the sort of score that might lift the team. That's exactly what is needed from their point of view. Still 6 points down, but a nice score for them. But Collins deserves credit for the assist.
He does indeed, yeah. But 6 points down now with 7+ minutes left, so there's potentially 8-9 minutes left in the game as well. And like I said, if the Tipperary just get that goal as well, it puts pressure on Kilkenny, and we'll see how they react then.
Farrell goes left with his lengthy puck out. Goes all the way through to, I think that was the number 6, it was, Gleeson. One of their subs. Was that 19? No, it was 18. McSweeney for Tipperary. Now, can he put it over from there? I think he's going for the pass, you know. He's looking for maybe Dunn coming in there, and Dunn did come in there, but got the ball, or got the man instead of the ball.
It was now a bit of experience there, maybe now in the Kilkenny full back line with that free, just take their time and slow things down, because Tipperary kind of have come into it there in the last couple of minutes again, so just letting the physio on. But yeah, Tipperary, I think it's actually been a really good game at times here today as well. There's been some great scores, especially in the first half. The likes of James Reid there as well, and Cottle Russell for Kilkenny. But you see the number 7, Sean Welch for Tipperary getting that point in the second half. That was really good as well. Charlie Noonan got a point in the first half. Michael Collins got one, and he's been excellent throughout as well. Busy midfielder, getting all over the field as well, and he deserved to score. And lucky for one here in the second half, but from that quick free. But he's been very good as well. Jack Marnell gone off the field there now for Tipperary, but I thought maybe Tipperary haven't hit him with enough of ball. I thought he looked dangerous at times, but just didn't get the supply he needed, and maybe he was the that's what happened when they went down to 14. They had to take off maybe someone to jig things.
Mahoney with the effort goes wide to the left, and Kilkenny certainly not putting this game to bed, leaving the door open for Tipperary, but that's well taken by Luke Lawler. He got a great point in the first half, and he's looking for another one, or at least an assist. He gives it to Russell. The door closed, and Tipperary are going to come out with it again, and that's what I was saying, Eddie. Kilkenny are not putting them to bed. They've had chances, they've had a few wides, and really should have been a little bit more clinical there. There's Reid, though. He might finish the job. He uses his strength. But Tipperary standing firm. Are they going to get this one out? And eventually they are. Needs a little bit of help, but he is robbed. Mahoney feeds it in. He had a shorter option, went for the longer option and put it wide.
He did, yeah, like you said, he had another option. Excuse me. Number 15 for Kilkenny, Shane MacDonald from Barra Rangers. He was an option, and maybe that was the better ball to give.
It was a good run from the wing back, but ended up with no score. If Tipperary can get a goal in the next couple of minutes, we could have a grandstand finish. Langton. Nice composed play by him. He keeps his head. And is that going over? Well, yep. Finally, Kilkenny have got one on target, and it's the man that they sent in, Cian Doherty from Thomastown, with a nice finish.
It is, yeah, Cian off his left-hand side. Of course, Cian with a Thomastown man with a big Galmoy connection there. His dad, Noel, is from Galmoy, up the north of the county.
Makes it 116-12, and it's that 7-point gap again. And when you think about it, either side of half-time, you had two key moments: the red card after half-time and the goal just before it. And you put those two together, and it just gives Kilkenny that cushion, and with the red card it's made it easier for them to have that cushion. They've just maintained it right through the second half, really.
To have that goal, the timing of that goal for Kilkenny was really important for Kilkenny, but then to come out and then with the sending off just takes the sting out of the game, so it does. And look at Tipperary again, they must get huge credit to stay at it with 14 men for nearly 25, 26 minutes at this stage. So
this is Butler. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. That's one of the scores of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
The way that he won it, persisted, got it back again, and the run and the finish. Lovely hurling by James Butler from Sean Tracy's. 116-13, back to a 6-point game. If they could just get it down to 4, we might have a very interesting finish, but we're running out of time from a Tip point of view.
Yeah, and the goal chances, I think that's what they need, but I don't remember too many clear-cut goal chances in there for them.
No. I think it's fair to say some of the sideline disagreed with that decision.
It is, yeah. I thought myself, no, maybe he was a bit lucky to get that, so he was. Jamie Tan, look at good positive play, taking the ball forward, but what is a defender supposed to do? Yep. I know there's ways of doing it, but he's not going to let him through either, so I just thought maybe a bit lucky for Kilkenny there.
Sub coming in there, you see. 23 for Tipperary Blue, and that is Rian Tracy from Upperchurch Drumban.
Upperchurch, yeah.
Yep. Man coming off is the number 10, Charlie Noonan. This is Callum Lawler. Gives it socks, but goes left. Went for power and lost a little bit of direction. Minute and a half of normal time then. 6 points in it. They go short this time and they get it to Shea Gleason. Can they work it through the lines here? No, they've just gone long, trying to avoid the extra Kilkenny player back there, but it doesn't work. Strong defending for Kilkenny by their fullback Pierce Costello from Dunnamagan. Reid goes for it, but again he's just unable to get the possession. Is that the fullback? Is that Cahill Hannon back there? Number 3. Can't see the numbers quite easily. No. That one's anybody's in the middle of the field, and the referee I think is already given the decision there. 4 minutes. So that's nearly 5 minutes in total. It's a big ask for Tipperary, especially as you say, Eddie. They haven't carried a goal threat, but they need to get at least one goal at this point.
They do need to get one goal at this time, but back to the sending off, you look at the half-time score, 112 to 8 points, and we're here now 116 to 13 points. So Kilkenny have only got 4 points in the second half, where Tipperary then have got 5 scores. So that kind of the fizz that was in the first half is kind of taken over by, I think, by that sending off as well.
Yeah, and that's a 7-point gap again now. Well taken by Mahoney, wearing 14 but playing out and around the middle, and he's looking to finish the job here. He's got a man off to his right. He sees him, he feeds him, and the score comes in from Callum Lawler. He's made a good impact as a sub.
He has, yeah. Callum, look at, he's an accomplished forward in Kilkenny, on the club level. He's very, very good, very accurate, loads of pace. So no surprise to see Callum come in there getting a couple of scores.
Question on the live chat from Tina: was the red a straight red or because he had a yellow already? I think it was a straight red. I don't remember him getting a yellow, but I'm not absolutely sure, to be honest. Nearly over the line, but not quite, so they play on. But now the referee blows and he says over carrying. We're in added time, 4 minutes extra, remember. Just over 3 minutes to go, and the gap out to 8, which is the biggest gap we have had so far. We need Tipperary, need a break here, and they've got a break, and this is a one-on-one, and it's ended up in the net. It has. I wasn't sure where it had gone there, and I don't think the goalkeeper was too sure for a moment, but Tip out of nothing. Let's have a look at it again, Eddie. They needed this to happen about 10 minutes ago, but they've got it. They've got the goal. It's Larry Collins, and they've got it back. That's the first goal of the game for Tipperary. Kilkenny got their first goal in 3 games, so it's 118 to 113, 5 points in it, and only just over a couple of minutes to go, and Tipperary probably have left it too late, but it has livened things up a little bit. Tipperary get it again. They couldn't, could they? They're trying to play it up through the lines, but it's a difficult one to take under pressure. Nearly got it at the second time of asking, but instead that strong play by Jamie Talon, and now it's a possible Kilkenny score because Oisin Mullally, who's come into the play, nearly scores. Reid is right there. He tries to just usher the ball into the net and doesn't manage to do so. And also in there, number 20, Robbie Jackman. Should have been a goal at that end just to finish the job, but they don't finish it. Tipperary smelling blood. And they're finding lots of room, and all of a sudden they're playing with lots of abandon. Their tails are up. They find a little bit of energy from somewhere. A minute and a half of added time to go, and they've added a lovely point. Surely too little too late, but a nice flurry of scores at the end.
Yeah, for the competition itself, you'd love to have seen Tipperary get that goal 10 or 15 minutes ago. But that's that man again, Sean Welch, making those runs up the wing from left half back. He's been really good. But like I said, it's a pity for Tipperary's sake that they didn't get that goal 10 or 15 minutes ago. Because now we have a game on, but 63 minutes on the clock just.
One of the Kilkenny players getting treatment for cramp from his teammates, so temporarily they were down to 13 players. Now he's left the physio to do that, so it's 14 against 14. But Kilkenny getting the ball up towards the Tip goals, and that one's left off for Mahoney. And he should just push this over. He's gone to the left. He's missed it. He has missed it. 4-point game. 30 seconds of added time left, and whatever the referee might add on to that. Tip in a hurry. He's got support, uses him, but doesn't take it first time, and crucially, Kilkenny able to rob him, although they've given it straight back to Tipperary. The Tipperary crowd smelling blood here. If they could get a goal and make it really interesting, but it's a sideline ball for Kilkenny, and there's twice there in about 20 seconds they were going forward, and maybe it was just the heat of the moment, but they've just lost their composure.
They have, yeah. Look at them. You're just thinking back now to the minor A final, the minor against Offaly 3 years ago when Tipperary got that goal.
Oh yeah.
You know, so look at, it's not over yet. Look at us, time's up now, but I suppose the 2 scores gives Kilkenny a little bit of a cushion. The 4 points.
They haven't played fantastically well themselves. They've put a lot of wides in the second half.
The second half, yeah. Look, I think that sending off had a massive impact on the game.
Yeah.
Just took this thing out of the game as well.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
So Kilkenny didn't have to force it. 64.5 minutes gone, well over the added time. But the referee letting it go. And that's it. Kilkenny have won it. They have beaten Tipperary Blue, and Kilkenny people will tell you that any day that you beat Tipperary or Tipperary team is a good one. And they have won the 2024 Electric Ireland Corn Michael Hogan. Their manager is Tom Hogan, and he's won the Michael Hogan. And Eddie Doyle is with me here, and Eddie, you'll be pleased with that. And I know there is a bigger picture here, and that is the game of hurling, but a good win for Kilkenny and deserved.
Yeah, definitely look, it deserved. I think the first half performance, even individual performance in the first half, were as good as what you'd see kind of at any level. Like James Reid there, he got a point here from the 65 over his right hand shoulder off his left side. I mean, it'd grace any game in Crow Park as well. It'd be a brilliant score. So look at Kilkenny's first half performance. Look at the finish 118. They had 112 at half time, so they only got 6 points. So like, I think that the sending off, the timing of the first of their goal was crucial. I think in the just for the Kilkenny themselves to go in. But Tipperary so unlucky, I think, myself, to see the players sent off, and the timing of that just after half time. You know, you have to be in there for 10 minutes in the dressing room. You're talking tactics, you're talking picking up different players, all this kind of stuff that goes on. All of a sudden you come out in the field then, and within seconds or minutes there's a big massive change like that, so everything changes. And again, these chaps are only, say, 17 years of age, so it's a massive, nearly a burden for them to carry on the field, or to adjustment as well, and the management can't always get their views across on the field. So look, you'd have to feel for Tipperary that way. The sending off definitely cost them maybe, and cost the game. But Kilkenny, they just did enough in the second half, but probably that first half performance is where they won it.
Yeah, and if you think of the first quarter, Tipperary Blue only scored 1 point, and that I think was somewhere free, and Kilkenny were much more economical. And you mentioned one of those great points, but they put over, I think it was 6 points to 1, and you know, they held that sort of lead right to the end of the game. Yeah,
look, in the Tipperary, we said it a few times there in the first half, like Jeff Turrell, a cornerback, Jeff got a yellow, and it was because he was under so much pressure there in the full back line for Kilkenny. But I just thought that Tipperary didn't get enough ball in there. They looked dangerous, and like I said, Jeff was giving away a couple of frees. So look at that side of it too. Tip just didn't get enough ball in there. Like I said, Jack Marnell in the second half got taken off, but I thought he was actually dangerous at times. But look at this. Look, we can't harp on about, but the sending off definitely as well. But Kilkenny, again, a few wides as well. It wasn't a brilliant performance by them, but look at, it's a final. It's about them getting, I suppose, their hands on a trophy as well. So look at, loads to work on. And again, we talk about development, and you have 34 players tagged out for Kilkenny. You've got 30 players tagged out for Tipperary Blue. So again, it's exposure to this. If you didn't have this competition, where would these players be? They'd be looking at maybe the closest they beat to Nowlan Park here today was an under-20 Ireland final last night, watching that as spectators. So it's brilliant to see these players getting the exposure that they fully deserve at this level.
Well, I suppose they'd be off maybe playing a bit of club hurling, but they wouldn't be playing in Nowlan Park on a live stream in an All-Ireland final.
They wouldn't even be playing at the minute. Yeah, because in Kilkenny anyway, we have
not even club league
hurling.
No,
club hurling at the minute is stopped for exams at minor levels.
So right, okay, so there'll be nothing.
There'll be nothing for these, at the minute for this exam time. So yeah, look at it. It's brilliant to see them, and look at again, the Tipperary players, know one or two of them, but obviously the Kilkenny players as well. But you look at what Tipperary brought today as well, brought resilience as well to stay in the game, even though at times things weren't going the way. And when they brought on subs as well, that Dara Dunn chap that came on, number 25, up and down the field as well. He took that 21-yard free. He took a couple of frees, but it's positive for him to get on the field. He's from Carrick-Swan, Carrick-on-Shore. There's two clubs down there, so he's from that side of the town, the Swan side. So they've done really well. Sean Welsh, I thought, the left half back, I thought he was excellent for Tipperary today, up and down that left flank as well. But even in midfield, the likes of Michael Collins, like I said, he kind of looks like a James Woodlock, the minor manager for Tipperary, in his size and his energy as well. But look at Tipperary, I think they've got loads out of this game today. But like Kilkenny as well, you look at the likes of, like I said, James Reid, Cottle Russell, all very, very good as well. So Fionn Manny in the second half especially got his goal in the first half, but in the second half was very, very good. Callum Lawler come on and did the job as well. So very good day for all the players.
This is PJ Kenny, Kilkenny chairperson, taking over the proceedings, so we'll listen to him now.
Since 2016, the competition has been played. It's a great competition, mixing teams from Donegal to Cork to Rome to Waterford. It has no game that could cut and page all those thousands of years ago, nurturing the young talent and helping to spread our national games. Thanks
not sure if you're picking up the audio that well, but he's thanked the sponsors, Electric Ireland, and he's thanking the referee, James Owen, and his officials.
Last night, we hosted the under-20 final in UPMC Nowlan Park. And early this morning, I'd like to thank our squad members, Christy, our caretaker, and other county board officials who done major work, lifting rubbish and cleaning out for today's game. Thanks very much.
Important clarification coming in from Larry O'Shea, thanks to him. He says the number 4 was booked after Kilkenny scored their goal, and again for the sending off, so it was 2 yellows. So Tina, who messaged earlier on, Tina Nowlan was correct. Just to clarify that, that's important to do that. So it wasn't a straight red, it was 2 yellows. Well, I suppose it still could have been a straight red, but we think he was booked earlier in the game as well. Now the cup presentation to Kieran Hickey from Donegal for Kilkenny, winners of the 2024 Electric Ireland, Corn, Michael Hogan.
Now we'll come around to call out his teammates and present them with the medal for today.
And we're going to now have the players come up to get their medals one by one. Yeah, so you were making the point, Eddie Doyle, about the goal at the end of the first half and the red card at the start of the second, and they were linked because he was booked from that, the same guy, and then he was sent off at the start of the second. So it was him who was booked coming out of that goal in that full back line, and then he got the red card. So that sort of was the end of the game, really. Those were the 2 key moments, and they were both linked.
Yeah, look, they were both linked, and you know, you don't want to see anyone get sent off, definitely. But the likes of these games, it's very harsh on a player himself, how he's feeling down there now. You know, it's a final at the end of the day, and he's got sent off and his team is lost, and it's no reflection on him, but at this minute he might actually feel that, you know, and that's experience then to realise that it's a team game, and that's the beauty of a team game. If it's an individual sport, you get all the pressures, you get all the accolades as well, but you get all the pressures, and you know, hopefully that he learns that this is a team sport and he's got teammates to rely on there as well.
Yeah, you could see how disappointed he was when the red card was shown. That wasn't the only reason why they lost.
No, definitely.
You say it had an influence on the game.
Definitely had an influence on the game, but that's what I mean. But that player, you know, he might feel that was the loser of the game, but you know, like you said, there's more facets of the game that influenced that.
So as Kilkenny players go up one by one, we'll just finish off with a little debate here. And the question I asked earlier on, I heard it on the Echo Sports podcast from Cork, which is excellent, and they asked the question, is the aim here to win a minor All-Ireland, or is it to develop the largest number of hurlers? And I suppose you could argue Kilkenny here have done both today.
They have done both, yes, but the bigger picture is development. That this competition in its nature is a development competition, as all the underage competitions are as regards 14s, 15s, 16s. It gets a bit more competitive for the minor A, but it's still a development. They're still young chaps, and you come to under 20 as well, and maybe then you can start talking about winning and that, but it's still all about development. And we see even at senior level in Kilkenny at the minute, we're developing maybe a different style of player, so it's always about development. I know there's more of a focus on winning at senior level, but it's always development. There's always learnings to take and things like that. So this competition for me is all about development. And if you can pick up a bit of silverware at the end of it, that's brilliant. But if you don't pick it up as well, I don't think it's necessarily a bad year. Like those Tipperary boys as well. This doesn't mean that they're a bad team. This doesn't mean that they're bad players. It just wasn't their day today. But their season, if you take that as a whole, the development. They got to wear a Tipperary jersey, which I'm sure they're all very, very proud of. They got the benefits of athletic development, nutrition, all that kind of stuff as well. And at the end of this year, you'd hope that they're all better players than they were at the start, and that's the aim. For me, that's the aim of this competition.
And do you think these competitions lend themselves to that development of a style of hurling that you were talking about, especially for your lads for Kilkenny today?
Yeah, definitely. You can see it at times, and look at. You know, you talk about the minor A competitions and like the pressures that is, but these competitions as well, especially, there mightn't be those pressures, and it lends to maybe a little bit more time on the ball, a little bit more space, and the likes of that, getting players to develop that shorter game, which in Kilkenny we probably traditionally haven't played over the years. So again, any opportunity to develop a player, whether it's in these competitions, whether it's in trainings for these competitions, or like I said, at senior level.
Okay, so we've the whole group now have got their medals, and the captain is going to bring the cup now. And the player award, best and fairest, I think is still remaining on the plinth there, so it hasn't been given. But if you were to give it, who would you give it to?
Yeah, I think, look at it, for me, I don't think it's biased. I think there was very good players on the Tipperary team today. No, so more than their midfielder, Michael Collins, who I thought was excellent and stayed at it all day. Look at in the first half, James Reid got 3 points and Cathal Russell got another 3 points. But for me, I think when Kilkenny kind of went out of the game in the second half, the man who got the goal in the first half, it was such a big important facet of the game as well. He got a point in the second half. So for me, I'm going to give it to Fiona Manny from Danesfort.
Okay, well, that's a nice way to finish. The best and fairest award for him, and it's been two days of live streams, and I think they're going to give the award now, and there's a good round of applause for him, and there you see him going up to get his award. That is indeed Fionn. So Fionn Mahoney from Danesfort just finishing the 4th live stream for us in 2 days. We hope you have enjoyed the coverage of the Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge finals. 2 in Ballyshannon yesterday, wins for Fermanagh and Tyrone. 2 here today in Nowlan Park, wins for East Cork, and now Kilkenny, a hometown win. What more could you ask from a Kilkenny point of view? And they've beaten Tipperary Blue out here, but as we've said a couple of times over the last 2 days, hurling has definitely been the winner. From us all in Nowlan Park, it's a very good afternoon.